goals, like economic development or poverty alleviation. The third audience we have in mind is the substantial, environmentally informed and aware general public, who are interested in digging beneath the superficial treatment of conservation often encountered in the media. For people who want to understand the balance that should be struck between preservation and exploitation, between the protection of beneficial species and the control of harmful species, the audiobook offers a set of principles that can be applied in most circumstances. By including a somewhat formal and fully general theory of conservation, we hope to show what is needed to make rational conservation decisions. By including applications to a range of environmental resource allocation problems, we hope to illustrate the many and varied factors that need to be taken account of in the process. While our discussion of the theory of conservation includes formal mathematical arguments, these are always paralleled by a non-mathematical development of the same arguments. We hope that listeners will be able to select the approach that best suits them. The first draft of the audiobook was largely written while we were on sabbatical in Italy and Greece in 2018, and we thank our hosts in Siena and Volos, Simone Borghese and George Halkos, for the opportunity to work in such congenial environments. We also thank our home institution, Arizona State University, for funding and logistical support during the preparation of the audiobook. Our thinking has been influenced over the years by many wonderful people, too numerous to mention here. You know who you are, and we thank you. Finally, the audiobook is the culmination of many years of work on different aspects of the conservation problem, undertaken with the support of a range of funding agencies. 3 projects undertaken with colleagues at a number of institutions have been particularly important. Advancing Conservation in a Social Context, funded by the MacArthur Foundation. Modeling Anthropogenic Effects in the Spread of Infectious Diseases, funded by the National Institutes of Health. And Risks of Animal and Plant Infectious Diseases Through Trade, funded by the National Science Foundation's Ecology and Evolution of Infectious Diseases program. Charles Perrings and Ann Kinzig, July 2020. 1. Environmental Conservation and Environmental Change. It must always have been seen more or less distinctly by political economists that the increase of wealth is not boundless, that at the end of what they term the progressive state lies the stationary state, that all progress and wealth is but a postponement of this, and that each step in advance is an approach to it. The richest and most prosperous countries would very soon attain the stationary state, if no further improvements were made in the productive arts, and if there were a suspension of the overflow of capital from those countries into the uncultivated or ill-cultivated regions of the earth. John Stuart Mill, Principles of Political Economy, 1848. 1.1 Introduction. In the 5th century BC, Heraclitus of Ephesus observed that the only constant in the universe is change, and yet to manage change, people have ever felt the need to hold some things constant. The list of things that societies have sought to preserve includes the natural environment and the resources it offers, but covers much more. A moral compass, religious faith, ties to kith and kin, personal and community health, and defensive capacity are all candidates for conservation. The factors that people need to take account of in making conservation decisions about such things are always the same. Whether the problem involves ideas, bricks and mortar, or germplasm is immaterial to how conservation decisions should be made. In all cases, the question to be asked is whether the decision maker does better by keeping an object in some state, or by allowing its state to change. This audiobook is first about the generic problem of conservation and the principles that inform rational conservation choices, whatever the object of conservation. Second, it is about the application of those principles to the management of the natural world. Many intractable environmental conflicts around the world have their origins in the fact that different people make different conservation choices. The loss of biodiversity that is the stimulus for all efforts to protect